friends, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Serena if you are new here, and today we are going to be chit-chatting about my October TBR. So on this TBR I have a whole bunch of books that we're gonna chat through. I have this giant pile and they range from sci-fi to fantasy to not really a thriller, but like a psychological, I guess we can call it a thriller. Rom-com, sports romance, a little bit of everything actually on this TBR. So I would like to think I'm going to finish all of these because 1, 2, 3. So I'll get into this in more detail, but this one I'm already 37% through. This one I just got to 50% last night. And this one I think I am also actually 37% through. So 3 of these books are in progress from over the summer. And they're not bad. They're actually like really good. It's just that August and September were so busy that I just didn't read. So these 3, oh, and Dune. I am also going to be finishing Dune. Finally, I'm like 75% through it. So I really just need to like buckle down and listen to the last couple of hours of it. 4 out of the 5, 6, 7 books are in progress, which means it should be easy to finish the first 4 and then start and finish the next 3. One of them is a library hold, which I only have for maybe another couple of days, question mark. I have to double check this one. Since I've kind of basically showed you every single book that's on the TBR already, let's actually talk about it. Let's talk about the book. If I know anything about what it's about. Some of these books I go into completely blind, so I might not know. And my star rating prediction. So let's jump into it. The first one I'm gonna start just like with the pile is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Sometimes I say Laura Roberts, but it's Lauren Roberts. This is basically about this girl Peyton and this guy Kai. It's dual POV, so it switches back and forth. They get chosen for these games, and that's all I know so far. 37% through. I've heard some mixed reviews about it, to be quite honest. Some of them have been that it's basically like Hunger Games 2.0, but I also do feel like the whole like chosen games is a popular trope. Maybe that's just me, maybe not. So my star rating prediction, I think this is gonna be like 3.5 to 4 stars. It was actually the book club pick for July, I wanna say, July or August, and I never finished it, but I really do want to finish it. I have the audiobook too, and the physical book, not the physical, the Kindle book from the library. So I'm gonna really try my hardest to get this done. And like I said, I think it's gonna be either 3.5 or 4 stars. The next book on the pile here is Play Along by Liz Tomford. I am officially 50% into this one. I think it's going to be either 4, 4.5, or 5 stars. It's about one of the guys on the baseball team that you meet in a previous book and the athletic trainer on that team. There is the fake marriage trope. And what else can I tell you without spoiling anything? That's really it. And again, I'm only 50% through. The reason why I'm not knocking it all the way up to 5 stars right away, like the other 2 out of the 3 in this series were, is because I think it's just a me problem. Obviously the book is called Play Along, and this author tends to use the title played through the book. I think it was A Flicker in the Dark, where the word like the flicker in the dark was used so many times. That's what this one. Play Along is just used a lot, and it's kind of bothering me. I get it, like 1 or 2 times you want to throw the title in, like that's pretty cool. I like that. But when it's overdone, it's kind of annoying. But everything else in this book is fantastic. So I think it's gonna end up being like 4.5. Unless the ending like really wins me over, then I could see it jumping up to a 5. But overall, I have really enjoyed this one, and I highly recommend reading these books in order, even if baseball's not your thing, or hockey's not your thing, or basketball's not your thing, and you want to like skip one of them. I do recommend reading them in order, because when the other characters are mentioned, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that from like that book, and some of the plot lines overlay. Something could be happening in book 3, and you might hear it mentioned in like this one, or you know, the second one or the first one. Like, she does a really good job of crisscrossing the timelines. So I do recommend this series, this book, but reading them in order. Don't skip a book just because you heard, I don't know, it was about hockey or whatever. The next one that I have in progress right now is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weiner. Wire. I always want to say Weiner for some reason. And this one, I am so mad that I waited so long to read this one because it's so good. I'm 37% through, I think. I'm listening to the audio. I think I'm on chapter 10, but it's so good. And this is the book club pick for this month. And it's just super fun to listen to it instead of reading it because you get some of the sound effects that take place in this book, like they're actual sounds. That's the best way I could word it. This one is about, oh my goodness, I always forget his first name because it is in first person. So there's just a lot of like I's and me's. You don't really get the character's name. Oh my goodness, what's his name? Ryland. That's also why, because it's not like your typical, I don't know, boy name, guy name. So Ryland, he was in a coma of sorts, and then he wakes up and he's on a spaceship and he's trying to figure out how did he get here? Where is he in the solar system? How does he get back to Earth? He meets some other life form and he's trying to like figure them out now. And it's pretty crazy that like throughout the book, it flashes back to his days at the university, and then those flashbacks help him like in the present moment. So he doesn't remember everything, but he remembers some things and they come back through these flashbacks. I'm enjoying this one. I think it's gonna be 5 stars. I had pegged it as 5 stars from chapter 2. I think it was honestly either chapter 2 or chapter 1. I was like, this is a 5-star read. Like that's it, done deal. So it has not drifted from there yet. I don't think it will. I think it'll continue to be 5 stars. Top book of the year. Just want to see where it goes. And I'll probably wrap this up in the reading vlog or weekly vlog that I'm currently doing. So I reference that video. No, I reference this video in that vlog. So crisscross. I'll tag it like somewhere up here, depending on what goes up first. The next 3 books on my TBR. Oh, Dune. I don't have it in the pile, but it's in my Libby pile. I am 72 to 75% through Dune. I don't know how I'm gonna rate this one. I have enjoyed it. I just think it's above my head. It's like, it's pretty out there. I'm still in the first physical book of Dune, but it's technically book 3 in the physical book. The whole like book system is a little confusing to me. So I'm like, that's why I'm prefacing it with I'm still in the first physical book, but in parts wise, I'm in book 3. Hopefully that makes sense. I have no idea how I'm gonna rate this one. Entertainment factor is pretty up there. It did suck me in at points and I was like, whoa, like I really need to like get on this and listen to this. And then it just got boring at one point. So that's where I kind of like lost interest and just stopped listening to it. Now towards the end, it's grabbing my attention again. Don't know what I'm gonna end up rating it. I don't even have a prediction, honestly. This is kind of just like one that I'm gonna listen to and say that I read and that I did enjoy for the most part. Next in the pile, it's not really a pile anymore, it's just 3 books next to each other, is this book called All Colors of the Dark by Chris Whittaker. This book, it's actually a funny story with this book. It was recommended to me by one of my friends and she was like, it could be a 6-star read, could be a 5-star read. Like you have to read this book. I said, okay, sure, I'll read it. And then like 5 or 6 days later, I was doing a fair and somebody else told me about this book and they were like, you have to read this book. It's a 6-star read. And I was like, this is the second person in like a week that has told me I need to read this book. So I went and I bought the book. I have not started it yet. I hear it's like a thriller, psychological suspense, fiction, like people, I haven't seen a true classification of this book. I also haven't seen a lot of people talk about this book, but I will talk about it because if 2 people tell me it's either a 5 or 6-star read, you best believe I'm gonna read it. I think for me, it's gonna be 5. I don't know about 6. I really have to get into it before I can say it's gonna become my entire personality. That's usually what the 6-star reads are. Those are usually, I end up making those books my entire personality and I don't shut up about them. Next on the list, I don't know if this is like technically the first book in the series, but I want to start this series by Candy Steiner, and the first one is Quarterback Sneak. There's some other ones. I think this is the first one, and I think they're all football romance. I'm not sure. Honestly, I have to check Goodreads, but I do want to start this one. It looks like this quarterback named Holden Moore. He can, of course, have any girl he wants except the coach's daughter. He's gonna probably go after the coach's daughter anyway. I'm not gonna read the whole back to you, but I haven't read a football romance since... I guess, what was the second book in Icebreaker? Was that football? I don't remember. By the series by Hannah Grace. I can't see. Oh, Wildfire. I don't remember what that one was about. Could that be football? Or maybe Daydream was football? For some reason, I remember a good amount of football references in that series. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think I've really read anything like football romance. I typically do hockey or baseball. So it'll be interesting because it is football season to start reading this one. I think it's going to be 4 stars. I think it's going to be like cute, fun. I could totally be wrong. I can't tell by the cover, so yeah, I'm not sure, but I do think it's going to be 4 stars. Last book on my TBR, I picked this one up from the library. It's called The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I've heard great things about her books, and this one's got the black pages, which is pretty cool. I do have Ninth House and the second one to Ninth House. I think I have it if I didn't sell it. It's with my like book of the month books that I have in my storage unit with my shop stuff, just because I don't love the way the book of the month books look on my shelves. I also just didn't have enough space for them, and the picks in my opinion weren't great, so I did cancel it, but I'm not opposed to signing up again. I think I would sign up again if I saw that the picks were much better. I do have Ninth House also that I need to read, but I just liked the look of this one for like spooky fall dark academia time. I can give you a quick synopsis of what this is about. Set in the Spanish Golden Age. It says fate can be changed, curses can be broken. Something about nobility. This is gonna have to be one that I probably should update you guys on in the weekly vlogs or like a specific reading vlog for this book, but I am curious. I have a couple more days on this one for the library. I have to figure out when this is due. I lost the thing. You know, the thing that tells you when it's due. That's the TBR for the month. You'll find out about how I'm liking these across the weekly vlogs and reading vlogs and all that fun stuff. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, I'll be posting updates on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Coffee and Goodreads with an underscore at the end. And that's where I post all my book reviews and just book pictures and reels and all that fun stuff. I keep wanting to say all that jazz from Chicago. But I keep holding myself back. On that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a video with me. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.